Okay, so let's suppose that we wanted to find the upper and lower sums for this shape here. You see, what we want to find is the area of this blue stuff right here. But the problem is, right, all of this blue stuff, it creates a shape that we are not familiar with. Like, what are the shapes that we're familiar with? We know rectangles, squares, we know trapezoids, triangles, circles, and so on. But a shape like this one here, it's like, what the heck? I don't recognize this shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a bunch of rectangles. And then we're going to find the areas of these rectangles. We're going to add them together. And that gives us an approximation of this. So there's two ways of doing this. Let's do left. And then after that, we're going to do the right. And let me switch markers here. Let me switch to just a regular pen. There we go. So watch. Let's do the left endpoint. And here's what we do. We have a bunch of rectangles here. For example, this is going to be the base of a rectangle. Now the question is, how tall should I make it? Should I make the rectangle this tall or should I make it this tall? Well, because right now we're doing left, I want you to build this rectangle going from the left. Let me actually switch colors to like red or something. Let's go green. So watch, I'm going to go up until I hit the equation. And then once I've hit the equation, watch, I'm going to go up. And once I've hit it, I stop and I go to the right. And this gives me my first rectangle. What about the next rectangle in here? So the base of this rectangle is here. Now trace it going from the left. So I'm going up from the left, hit the curve, stop, shoot to the right one, and come all the way back down. Now the next rectangle over here, here is the base, but go up from the left until you hit the equation. Boom, shoot to the right and come back down. One last time, here is this base, trace up from the left until you hit the curve, shoot to the right one and come back down. Now, all you have to do now is add together the areas of these four rectangles. So for example, the first one here, the base is 1. And what's the height of this rectangle? Well, look, we're going from 1 to, it has a height of 4. So that's 1 times 4. Plus, what about the next rectangle? What is the height of this one here? It has a height of 5. So that's 1 times 5, because it's base times height, base times height. What about the next rectangle? This guy here, this has a height of 4 and a base of 1. And then finally, the last rectangle has a base of 1 and the height is 2, right? And so this here, if you add up 1 times 4 plus 1 times 5 all the way through and through, it gives us back an area of 15. Now let's do this again, but this time let's do it from the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to erase all this. And then we're going to build the same rectangles, but this time we're going to build them from the right. So it looks like this here. So this time we're going to trace, so that's at the bottom is 1, but now you're going to go up from the right until you hit the equation, then shoot to the left and come back down. And do the same for the next one. You go up from the right, hit the equation, boom, then shoot to the left. The next one, go up from the right until you hit the equation, boom, go left. And then finally, this guy, notice that here, I'm not going to go up anywhere because I'm already at the function itself. So I'm just going to leave it like this. And so for this one here, this for the right endpoints, the first rectangle, it's a 1. And then what's the height? The height is 5. So that'd be 5 plus. The next rectangle is 1 by 4. So that's 4. And then the next one would be 2. And what's funny is the last one would actually be 0, right? Because this had a height of 0 because of where we were. And so this here, if you add these up, what is it? That looks like it's going to be 11. So the upper sum would be 15, right? That'd be the upper. And then for the lower, it would be the 11. So that's how you do a problem like this. You just trace it until you get rectangles, but sometimes you go from the left and sometimes you go from the right.